So here, let's look at this. Johnny Cash, all right? In 1965, he faces charges in federal court. What's he done? Allegedly. Well, he pled guilty. So he smuggled 688 Dexies, 457 Equinel into the U.S. from Juarez, Mexico. He pleads guilty in federal court, but he never has to face Delia's Gone. Delia's Gone, all these songs, by the way, are written before this. They could have used Delia's Gone, okay? She was low down, trifling, cold and mean, evil, grab my submachine. Your Honor, how long do you plan on going today?
I'll finish.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right, good afternoon, sir.
Doug Weinstein for Diamante Kendrick. Wow. Wow. That is a lot to respond to. How fun it is to set up straw men and knock them down. The state is saying that the defendants are asking for a special exception for a single genre of music. We are not. That is nonsense. We are asking essentially for the same thing that the state is. Use the Georgia rules, use the law, apply it in this case. But I will say this about rap music, and let's call it rap music, not gang lyrics. Or rap, you can call it rap lyrics. As Professor Dennis at the University of Georgia says, rap is the only fictional art form treated this way. No other musical genre and no other art is used in the same way and to the same extent. And there's so many examples of that. Look at Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey is accused of felony sexual assault up in Maryland in December of 2018. He's played reprehensible characters in movies, repeatedly, in TV shows. None of that is dragged in. He's brought to court in the UK. I appreciate that's not the US. His roles are not dragged in. So we hear a lot of things about what Yak Gotti rapped. Yak Gotti is not on trial here. Diamante Kendrick is on trial here. And there's a giant elephant in the room, which is that we're ignoring art. There is art here, and the art has to be separated from the real life. And I do not believe, although the state does not address that.
But wouldn't the art fall under the First Amendment?
Art does fall under the First Amendment, Your Honor.
I'm just asking this, okay? Because, yeah. I mean, you know, we're all here to, I'm here to kind of make some preliminary decisions, but
certainly.
Wouldn't it, I mean, if my art or what I am, my genre or what I am trying to assert is just happens to be criminal in nature, or maybe a statement against interest, or maybe some other type of admission, would the same rules apply?
Well, I think what you have to do, and what your task is, you're fortunate enough to have this task, is to separate what is the expression of a character, an artistic character, from what the author or the lyricist is saying. Lyricists write things for characters to say. That has happened in music for years. For years. I like John Prine. John Prine, when he was in his early 20s, wrote, "Angel from Montgomery. I'm an old woman who comes from Montgomery, who flies from Montgomery." No one thinks John Prine is an old woman. He writes hello in there about old people. And what they're thinking. It's not the same.
But if my lyrics or my artistic expression relate to an action or my mental state, wouldn't they be subject to being admitted, or a court considering them, or a fact finder, a jury considering them for what the reasons that they're authorized to.
Yeah, I understand, but only in rap music do you say that the person, the character rapping, the persona rapping, in this case, the persona Yak Gotti rapping.
Okay, that's just my name. That's my stage name. That's the name that I go under. I'm still tied to that particular person. Like, it's still tied to your client, right?
But
Yak Gotti is your client's nickname, right?
Yak Gotti is
or stage name.
Yak Gotti is his stage name.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right.
But when Yak Gotti is rapping, it's not proper to take what he's rapping and say, that is the mental state of this person. That is what he is thinking. That's a perspective of his song, of his rap. And from where he comes from, he is expressing views that come out of that community. He is making cultural references. He is speaking. Am I going too fast?
No. I need something right quick. Thank you.
He's speaking.
1 second.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mr.
Ready?
Weinstein. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready. Go ahead.
He's speaking in the conventions of that genre of music. And in gangster rap, what do the producers, what do the record companies, and frankly, what does the audience expect? They expect these lyrics. So he provides these lyrics.
But if the lyrics fall under actus reus or mens rea, don't I have to first look at them under 401? As Mr. Carlson made this nice linear diagram, I like that because I'm trying to follow things from A to B, C to D. But why would they not, why could not the court consider those under that particular line or lineage?
I think that's a great line to look at it. Let's start with 401 and 402. Are they relevant? And the lyrics spoken as a character are not relevant to the actions of the person who inhabits that character on stage or on the album. There's a distinction between those that the court has to draw just to even see if they're relevant under 401, Your Honor. And then once you determine if they're relevant, let's assume they are relevant. I'm not there yet. I don't agree with that. But let's assume that they are relevant. Once you're determined that they're relevant, then you've got to do the 403 analysis.
Well, actually, 402.
402 and then 403, yes. But then the question is, I know what the state's going to want to do. Throw it out there to the jury. Let us put our competing arguments, our competing meanings before the jury and let them decide. But when you've got something that is unfairly prejudicial, which is what rap music is, what you'll hear Mr. Steele's experts testify about at some point, what you'll hear him proffer when he argues, they're unfairly prejudicial. And if you do not serve as that gatekeeper function, Your Honor, then that jury is going to take the meaning and perhaps misconstrue it or misattribute it. And that's just not proper. And
well, it depends on one, whether that's admissible, and two, it depends on how good your advocacy is.
I agree with that, Your Honor. So let's see how I do today.
So yeah, I mean, it's for the jury, of course, to give it the weight and engage it within the confines of what they hear in this courtroom and the instructions that they get from this court. So. Isn't that ultimately, if admissible, what the jury's going to do? You're going to sift and weight this evidence?
But if it's unfairly prejudicial, Your Honor, it should not even come in.
How would you say it's unfairly prejudicial?
Because of the nature of the music, the violence in the music, the extreme language in the music, it is prejudicial.
Okay, but
if it was...
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We'll get there. That's fine. And let's talk about why it's prejudicial, part of it. In Ward v. Rock against racism, 491 U.S. 781, 810 would be the Penn site, note 7. Justice Thurgood Marshall quotes, he's quoting someone else, "New music always sounds loud to old ears." And that's what we've got here. New music always sounds loud to old ears. The state knows that. They know what this music is going to sound like to the jury. And it has always been thus so. When I was young, in my day, we listened to the Sex Pistols, offensive stuff. God Save the Queen, she's not a human being. Elvis Costello, I'll stand on your grave and tramp down the dirt. Butthole Surfers, all of it offensive. But people listen to that.
But they wrote it. I mean,
Again, there is no other art form that is treated this way. There are other artists in other fields, country music, for example, that do not have to, when they face charges, they do not have to face having to defend the lyrics that they wrote or the songs that they sung. I would just like to briefly, and I apologize, I do not have a printout of this, but I can circulate it. It's only 4 slides, but I think it would just aid the court if I put them up rather than reading them.
Do you have my thumb drive or anything like that?
I can get that. I can email it to you if you'd like.
No, I was going to say you could share it on.
I can put. Can we put it up on the screen? Thank you.
All right. Okay. Let's let technology do a little work for us. Okay.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay. Let's just briefly. I'm not going to belabor this point with the court.
And we'll of course, you can for the purpose of this hearing, I'll consider it as D1. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, sir.
Okay. So let's look at some people. And by the way, when I'm bringing these up, I am doing it under a similar analysis that you would do in this case. In other words, I'm going to argue that there has to be some nexus between the crime charged and the lyrics in the case. That is what, if you look at all the cases, there has to be some nexus.
What do you think? Does it go to access reus or mens rea?
Yeah.
First. Okay.
So here, let's look at this. Johnny Cash. All right? In 1965, he faces charges in federal court. What's he done? Allegedly. Well, he pled guilty. So he smuggled 688 Dexys, 457 Equinel into the U.S. from Juarez, Mexico. He pleads guilty in federal court, but he never has to face Delia's Gone. Delia's Gone, all these songs, by the way, are written before this. They could have used Delia's Gone. Okay? She was low down, trifling, cold and mean, evil, grab my submachine. Okay, next, please. Willie Nelson, famous marijuana user, loves it, advocates for it. In 2010, they found marijuana on his tour bus in Texas. 2006, 1.5 pounds of marijuana and 3 ounces of shrooms. You couldn't really speak directly about marijuana in country music in the 70s, but he alludes to it. So in his song, In a Memory, off the album Willie Nelson and Family, he says, I'm a love that you know from a song. I'm a voice on a green telephone. I'm a day that lasted so long. 1971. They did not bring this up. It was not used against him.
Are you saying he was under the influence of marijuana?
When he wrote that, Your Honor?
Or maybe some other...
well, I'm not going to say what Willie was doing then, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, okay, all right.
Next, please.
I'm with you.
2006, Glenn Campbell. Not his best look. Okay, he's charged, and by the way, there's a connection. Charged with aggravated assault, drunk driving, hit and run. Here's his song, Tequila. I was at the, and I'm not going to sing it, Your Honor, so you'll have to forgive me.
Did he write this song after the... Before the... Okay.
Every song I present to you was written and released before the charges.
Okay, I'm with you.
All right. I'm not going to be sneaky that way. I was at the bar with my drinking team. It was me, Jack Daniels, and my honey, Jim Beam. We were kind of blitzed.
Homie.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you like to perform it? Because I know that you're famous on the internet for your rap lyrics.
That's other people pirating me. Okay, so...
I know a good copyright lawyer.
All right.
But here's these drinking songs are not brought up against him. Next, please. This is the last one I'll do. Tim McGraw and Kenny Chesney, charged with disorderly conduct, and McGraw is charged with a felony for assaulting a police officer in 2000. And I believe this is a Chesney song that was released before then. It's a great song. It's the simple things in life, like the kids at home and loving wife. I'll just jump to the end. The devil takes your hand and says, no fear, have another shot, just one more beer. Next, please. Last. This is not a song, but it's a statement of frustration, from a singer and a songwriter that's the frustration that I bet all of the defendants in this room feel. David Allan Coe wrote the most racist, offensive country music probably ever recorded. Released them on underground albums. I am a songwriter, you know, and to me it has always bothered me that actors in the movies can say whatever they want to say. Kill people, rape people, and do things that no one ever accuses them personally of being that way. But when you write a song, and then all of a sudden you're being accused of something, to me, songwriting is painting a picture, and all you have, this is important, all you have to work with is words. That's all they have to work with. Words. It's stereotype stuff, and he's talking about the racist language he uses. It's stereotype stuff that you hear growing up that immediately puts a picture in your head. What Mr. Kendrick is singing about is what he grew up around. What else is he supposed to sing about? He's not going to sing Daydream Believer. He's not going to write that song. He's not going to write about puppies and rainbows and unicorns. This is what he writes about. And now it's being dragged out, and he has to sit in this court and defend. He knows he has to defend these charges. But to have to defend the lyrics that he's writing? Come on. Come on. Gosh, thank you. That's enough. You can turn it off. Anyway, I'll be happy to circulate this later.
If you'll send a copy of that to your colleagues and Ms. Weaver, please.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
That'd be fine, sir.
Okay.
It'll be D1, as I said.
Thank you. Your Honor, in instances where courts have admitted rap lyrics, it's all about the connections, as you've heard today already. Look at Wilson v. State. That is a case that the state has cited. Wilson v. State, 315 Georgia, 728. It's a 2023 case. And in that case, the Supreme Court of Georgia said, sure, you can let in this rap video. That's appropriate. But let's talk about the rap video that was admitted, which you didn't hear about. It was shot 11 days after the robbery and murder at issue in that case. And what's it show 11 days later? The defendant's flashing a gun that could have fired the bullet recovered from the victim's body, and singing about hitting his first lick. In other words, committing a robbery. So the court said, well, given the probative nature of the video and it not being unfairly prejudicial in light of its probative value, then according to Wilson, the video being admitted was proper.
What was it admitted for the purpose of?
I would have to pull up that case.
If you can tell me. If not, I'm going to pull.
I can't tell you right now, Your Honor.
Now, anyway, so.
But I believe it was admitted for evidence of guilt. But please let me get back to that. This case is different. Oh, did y'all put up the bodies on bodies line over there? There we go. Hey, how you doing? I'm Yak Gotti. I got bodies on bodies. Okay. When Yak Gotti is rapping that, first of all, he's not rapping about killing people or allegations relating to or the tragic death of Donovan Thomas. He's not rapping about that. What's he rapping about? What is this young guy rapping about? He's rapping about sleeping with a bunch of women at the same time. Or maybe not. Maybe that's not it. Maybe he's rapping about when he was a high school football star over at Grady. And he was laying people out on the field. Bodies on bodies. He's not rapping about a murder that happened 11 days before the song was written or performed. He's not flashing guns capable of firing bullets found around Donovan Thomas or bragging about committing his first murder. So, it's a different situation. You know what's more analogous? Is U.S. v. Stevenson's 550 F sub 3rd 1246 from the Middle District of Florida in 2021. The U.S. attempted to introduce 3 rap videos against the defendant charged with possession with intent to distribute marijuana. In rejecting the admission of those videos, the court said there was no evidence as to when the lyrics were written, the songs recorded, or the videos edited. And they concluded that the videos were too remote in time to have much probative value, or were even of dubious probative value in this case. Where's the evidence of when these lyrics were written and recorded with respect, in time, with respect to these underlying allegations? I don't see it here. I don't think it's been presented to you today, but I'll tell you, and I'm going to go through the 6 specific lyrics. I'm not going to take much time, but I'm going to go through the 6 specific lyrics that they want to introduce, or they've said they're going to introduce against Mr. Kendrick. And you'll see that they're too remote in time.
So you're saying that that reference is something, 2 other things that potentially Mr. Kendrick was involved in, playing football or getting with ladies? Is that what you're saying?
Here's what I'm saying. That unlike our United States Supreme Court that thinks they're experts in history, I think that courts are experts in law, and that they shouldn't get into the business of musicology and trying to figure out what that rap lyric wrote when Mr. Kendrick wrote it or performed it.
Okay, well, let's go back to Wilson.
Sure.
Wilson, the dope video that's referenced in there, it references the murder weapon. It connects the murder weapon and implicates one of the defendants in the
Absolutely.
Close in time. So I don't know what this particular thing is going to be tied to, but one of the state's theories is, as mentioned by the state, is that bodies on bodies is that he's been involved with some homicides.
Okay, so I don't know about some homicides, but he's accused of 1 in here. But the bodies on bodies, let's see when that was released. I'm going to look to that real quick. So I have it here. 2013. That was from Dream, released in 2013. And there's a distinction, by the way, between when something is written, when it's recorded, when it's released. But it's released in 2013. When is the Donovan Thomas murder? 2015. 2 years later. So what does bodies on bodies have to do with the murder of Donovan Thomas? Nothing. Nothing. Why is it here? It's here because it's prejudicial. The state knows this. That's why it's here. That's why rap music is introduced. That's why no other genre is introduced. Because rap music is inherently prejudicial. I don't want a special exception for it. I just want you to do the 403 analysis, Your Honor.
So you're saying it doesn't have any linkage? Is that what you're saying?
0. If I could say less than 0, I would. No linkage.
Let me ask you one thing before I move on with that. Hold on 1 second. I thought he released Dream. Is that what you're saying this song comes from?
Yes.
And that was...
well, that's what the state says it's from, yes.
I think thought that was released April 17, 2015. That's what I show on the state's page 43 of state's 18.
I pulled this 2013 from the state's particularized motion.
So I think it's released on Apple Music April 17th of 2015. When was Mr. Thomas?
Oh, recorded 2013. Recorded 2013.
But it was released April the 17th of 2015.
That may be, but if it was...
When did the homicide occur?
January 2015. But if it was recorded in 2013, how in 2013, recorded, correct? How when recorded in 2013 did Mr. Kendrick know that Donovan Thomas was going to be murdered in January of 2015? Did he record it, keep it in his back pocket, and wait for the murder to release it? I think that's absurd.
Okay, all right.
You can take...
All right, well, that's one.
Well, you're on. I'll go through them all.
That's one. Well,
I got time.
yeah.
Let's do it. All right. I'll get there in just a moment, though, Your Honor. I'm not going to go State versus Skinner, up through State v. Skinner again. It's been beaten to death. But that's the New Jersey Supreme Court case that we reference in our briefs, where they basically throw out the rap lyrics, identifying with Bob Marley, etc. But again, on the unfair prejudice, let's look at I'm going to give you a quote from Old Chief v. U.S., 519 U.S. 172, Penn Site 180. As the Supreme Court has held, the term unfair prejudice as to a criminal defendant speaks to the capacity of some concededly relevant evidence to lure the fact finder into declaring guilt on a ground different from proof specific to the offense charged. That is exactly the risk, that is the danger of admitting these rap lyrics in this case. And look at Rule 404B. Introducing these rap lyrics, I think the clear intent is to show the character of Mr. Kendrick, and that Mr. Kendrick has a propensity to commit the crimes alleged in the indictment. Look at this evil rapper and listen to his words. They're terrible, horrible. Listen to what he says. What a piece of crap character he is. Who else would sing these songs? Who else would rap this music? Heaven forbid our kids hear that. That's not appropriate use. It's not appropriate use. I'm going to leave the state's other arguments right here to Mr. Steele. But I do want to go over the particular lyrics.
The rest of your lyrics.
Yeah, I'm going to go over the lyrics right now.
All right, let's talk about your lyrics.
Let's talk about lyrics. Let's go. Okay, back. I don't know if we'll just go one by one to make sure I hit them all. We've already talked about bodies on bodies.
Okay.
Okay. But again, what is the probative value of something recorded in 2013 to something that happened in 2015? It's got none. And I will not concede that Yak Gotti and Diamante Kendrick are the same person, just as I would not concede that Ian McKellen is Iago. You know, it's not the same situation. This is a character that he portrays on screen, in videos, in concert, but that's not Diamante Kendrick. Bodies on Bodies has multiple meanings. A convention of rap music, as I've been learning, is the importance of double and triple meaning. Finding double, triple, quadruple meaning is it's a critical skill to the lyricist in rap. And that's what you've got with things like Bodies on Bodies. Multiple meanings. Let's assume, go ahead, assume Bodies on Bodies means dead bodies in the streets. Assume it means that. Whatever. 2013, Mr. Kendrick doesn't have any accusation that there are bodies on bodies there. And it's a convention. It's what his audience is looking for and demands in gangster rap. But it has multiple meanings. No proximity between the time of the recording of that and the unfortunate death of Mr. Thomas. If you let it in, there's a high risk that the jury is going to misinterpret that. And it will unfairly prejudice Mr. Kendrick.
Okay.
All right, next lyric.
Move on to the next.
I've only got 5 more, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Next lyric. Running from 12, then I jumped through the fences. Again, It's sung by Yak Gotti, his alter ego, you could argue, but it's his stage performance. It's his name on the stage. And again, we've got ambiguous, multiple meanings. What is 12? Running from 12. Is it running around his neighborhood at the age of 12? He had a friend named 12 when he was younger. Is it running with his friend named 12? Or is it the police? Or is it all three? Or is it, as good artists do, is it up to the listener to decide what it means? Unfairly prejudicial. Lyric. I rep my life for real, for slimes, you know I kill. Take it to trial. Again, I'm going to argue that that's a lyric sung by Yak Gotti, the character, and not Mr. Kendrick. But regardless, I kill. Now I know I have said I killed it. I pray that when I walk out of here today and someone says, Doug, how'd you do today? I'm like, I killed it. I probably won't say that, but you never know. I kill refers to doing a great job when you're rapping in the studio. I kill refers to making money for the label. Multiple meanings. But the problem is, which one is the jury going to take? Next lyric. Excuse my language. Fuck the police. Fuck 'em in a high speed from Slime Shit, March of 2016. Again, a lyric sung by Yak Gotti. It's a reference. It is a call out, Your Honor, to NWA with their famous song, Fuck the Police. It is social commentary. NWA sang it as social commentary. The character Yak Gotti sings it as social commentary. It's common. It speaks to so much in that community that I'm fortunate enough to not be able to really relate to, but what they deal with on a daily basis. But what is the jury, try as they might, and I know they're going to try hard, going to say when they hear fuck the police? One more? Two more. Knocking off your big homie bitch, Mob Ties, April of 2020. Again, that has minimal value, and if you watch the video, and I'm sorry, I don't have it to play here today. If you watch the video, when Yak Gotti says, knocking off your big homie bitch, it is a call and response. Someone else says it, and then he repeats it. It's a long tradition in music. I mean, you can go back to Cab Calloway. You can go back, it was imported from Africa. Repeating things is a common trope, a common musical issue. And Cab Calloway, Michael Jackson, Missy Elliott, they all do it. They all repeat things. It doesn't mean he adopts them. He's in the video in a call and response situation. Last, YSL wipe a nigga nose. Yak Gotti is in the video. He does not sing that. He is just in the video. And appearing in a video and nothing more should not be adoption of a lyric.
Well, do you have a choice to be in the video?
Well, do you? I mean,
I guess that's the question.
I mean, we all have jobs.
I guess that's a question that the jury will have to kind of ponder, right? I mean, it's not like somebody's filming and they walk up and they catch you in it where they got to get a release. I mean, but to play it, but or to put you in the video, but if he's standing behind or is one of the background people in that particular video or that song, isn't that something that the jury is going to have to sift out?
I do not think you can go to look at what Diamante Kendrick is thinking or what he's adopting based on what someone else is saying in the rap music video that he's in. Yeah, he's there voluntarily. He's not chained there. but that doesn't mean that he adopts that.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go back to this, Your Honor. It is only rap music, and you have to ask, that has to defend this. It's only rap musicians that have to come into court. And don't tell me, anyone else, that it's because only rap musicians get in trouble with the law. That is not the case.
Not relevant for each case has to be taken on its own individual merit.
Exactly. And so when you see all these other cases cited where rap music is admitted, all that I ask you to do is make an independent assessment for this case on a lyric by lyric basis, whether those lyrics are appropriate to be admitted or whether they should be excluded under 403. That's all I ask the court, Your Honor.
All right, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Mr. Steele?
Your Honor, I'll just go next to Judge, okay?
Okay, all right. Mr. Sharp?
Oh, I apologize, Your Honor.
We'll take 5 minutes. Everybody should take 5 minutes. We'll come back, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Yo, hit that like for a deal with Christian. Yo, for a deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for a deal with Christian. For a deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for a deal with Christian.